Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of Sundari Broadcast System. It is me, your host Charlie, here with Dom and Jordan once again.
It's not true. I'm not actually here.
He's never here. Don't
This is
listen
not
to
the
him.
guest you're looking for.
It's not true.
All right, so we have really nothing planned out to talk about. So let's just fly by the seat of our pants, like always.
This is it's like I don't want to give us kick ourselves around, but honestly, it is a bit hard to try to think of topics to talk about that are not huge topics of what is coming out with Star Wars content wise.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think that's what we're having the issue with. However, that's not, even if we're not thinking of one straight topic, I don't think that's stopping us from going on with what we've been doing for these Lauren Chill days.
Yes.
Yeah. which I think this could lead to this topic that we were talking about just before going live of what the sequel trilogy, how it's extending right now in general. Because Jordan and I saw the other day. Well, I saw off Jordan's page that there is a Finn and Poe comic coming out, and that makes me very excited to see more of sequel content coming out.
Yes. I think it's like in between the movies. I don't think it's like after or before anything. Well, obviously it's not before because it's when Finn and Poe know each other. But I think it's like during that 1 year between The Last Jedi and The Rise of Skywalker, which is amazing.
Perfect.
Finn and Poe wedding when? Tomorrow. Give it to me now.
We would love to see it. I want to see it.
Hell yeah. I was about to say something. I forgot what it was. Not gonna lie. Did everyone finish the Lego Star Wars Summer Vacation?
I have not.
I haven't touched it yet.
You haven't watched it yet.
Neither Life Day.
You haven't watched the Christmas special either?
I have.
Dom,
I will after this. I will.
I'm telling your dad.
I will after this.
I'm telling your dad.
I told him to get into it, and I haven't seen it, and he hasn't seen it either.
We have your mom on the official Instagram. We will tell her.
You have my mom.
Yes, we do. I'm not going to show it, but we do.
No, she would do that.
To respect y'all's privacy, I'm not going to show it, but we do.
That's what I'm trying to say. I'm trying to also. I remember I was trying to sit them down and try to get them to watch with me the original Christmas special.
Oh no!
Oh yeah.
Why would you put anybody through that?
Well, I want to experience it first.
No,
I want to feel I want to be a part of how horrible it is, and actually.
Why would you want that?
My time.
See, this is why I need more black friends. Why do you want to do that? Why do you want negative things to happen to you?
I want to be in the loop.
Devil is an abundance of lies.
I've seen a summary video. I want to be in the loop.
It's the whole devil. I'm good being out of the loop. I'm good. I hear how horrible it is. I saw 1 30-second clip and I said, no, thank you. You know why? Because I got some sense.
See, this is why Jordan could never be in a horror movie. He would just see the first person die or see the killer and be like, nope.
Oh, you thought I was going in the house? No. Pennywise the clown. Y'all clowns were going to go see him. Next.
I'm not getting in that dirty sewer.
Nope, won't. First of all, too bougie. Way too bougie to get in the sewer. You won't catch me dead in the sewer. Just because Pennywise is like, I got something for you. No, you don't. You can't possibly have anything for me if you in the sewer.
We
So-
have Finpo down here.
We have
Nope.
Finpo down here.
Sorry,
We all float with Finpo. Pinfo.
Pinfo, not Pinfo.
Freudian slip.
I seriously need a counter on here for every time your brain just goes off track mid sentence.
I don't know why it does that. Like I even think it out perfectly, and it just my mouth moves faster than my mind moves faster than my mouth.
Yeah.
Gosh, I'm afraid that there's people that's gonna make a counter.
Anyways, let's talk about why you haven't watched the Lego specials. Why do you hate happiness?
I don't hate happiness. I just can't. I have Droid. I know I have Droid Tales somewhere. I have the DVD disc case.
I don't hate happiness.
It's
Has
somewhere.
yet to watch the best 2 Lego specials to come out since the birth of Beyonce. You really got on Beyonce's internet and said, I don't hate happiness, and then you didn't even watch.
The birth of Beyonce, an important event in Star Wars history.
Yeah. Because without Beyonce, we wouldn't have Star Wars. Have you not seen the meme of Beyonce talking to a little George Lucas, even though George Lucas is clearly older than he is? She is.
I don't know what part of the where I don't know how to rebuttal with that.
Oh, trust me, I know you don't. That's because there is no rebuttal. So,
How do you create a response to that?
You don't.
You don't.
So I have been on a I'm just gonna block and delete type of mood on TikTok
no.
and Twitter.
Oh,
Oh,
no.
no.
But let me explain why. So I'm kind of super tired of Star Wars fans only talking about what they don't like. There's a TikToker that I've been following since I downloaded the app. I've liked his content ever since then. I've been rocking with him. Even when he was trying to get canceled, I was rocking with him. But then today, this morning, I saw a video that he made basically bashing the Star Wars sequels. And I'm like, really? You haven't made a Star Wars video until now. And the first Star Wars video you make after a long time is to talk about how the prequels and originals are better than the sequels. Unfollow.
There's literally no need to add to, like, you're beating a dead horse.
Yeah.
Like the toxic Star Wars community is just beating a dead horse when it comes to the sequel trilogy.
And over on YouTube, I unsubscribed to a Watch Mojo channel. It was like Break Mojo because they do like Lego videos, like Lego Star Wars videos, and they were just like saying like, fuck Kylo Ren, am I right? Like, I don't care. I don't care. Just talk about the game. You know, they were talking about how Luke's character in The Last Jedi was one of the worst character assassinations in movie history. And I just was like, I don't really have time for this. I don't.
So going off that, one thing I do want to talk that brought to mind was like Mark Hamill's first reaction to when he first got told like what was going to happen to Luke's character in The Last Jedi. He had an idea of like kind of like, oh, Luke comes in as the hero, but then he read the script and he's like, that's weird. But the more that he read it, he's like, okay, I can actually see this making sense.
Yeah, it's like it's we can see this now. See this now. Say it's not Luke, for example, and just an example. But we see this with recent Star Wars media that came out. Obi-Wan, in the beginning of his series, he's either in a sense of protection denial, as well as like Luke. You can see like a parallel between the two. Right?
Mm-hmm.
But here's the thing. Even if Mark Hamill didn't change his mind and was like, I don't like this characterization, Mark Hamill's opinion, hot take, is not the end all be all of
It
the
really
Star Wars
isn't.
universe.
It is.
Because
Like-
if it was, if the celebrities who were in Star Wars, if their opinions really mattered, we all would have hopped off the train a long time ago when Harrison Ford said he was done with Star Wars and Han Solo and hated talking about it since the prequels came out. This is not something new Harrison Ford just started saying. Everyone
yeah.
likes to pretend that it is, but it's not.
Harrison Ford publicly said that he wished Han Solo had died in The Empire Strikes Back.
And so that drives me crazy when Star Wars fans are like, we should have been listening to Mark Hamill because he did. No, you really don't care about listening to Star Wars celebrities, because if you did, you would have acknowledged what Harrison Ford said. You're only listening to Mark Hamill because he currently agrees with you about hating a stupid movie.
We love hypocrisy.
So,
We love the Republic.
like, let's not do that. Let's not do that. And that's not to say people can't have criticisms of the movie, because I also came across this TikTok account that's like, oops, I'm getting canceled because I refuse to just love every single aspect of Star Wars. Oh my God, I hate the toxic positivity. My brother in Christ, let me educate you on what toxic positivity is real quick. Toxic positivity is not refusing to badmouth a movie every chance I get. Toxic positivity is actively ignoring the actual problems of anything ever. In this case, Star Wars. Let me give you an example of actual toxic positivity. On Facebook, a couple of months ago, February, because it was Black History Month, a Star Wars page posted a montage of all these Black characters. And I said, it's great that everyone is hyping these characters up this month, but I really want people, including the studio, to actually start caring about these characters like they do every other character in the franchise. My comment was removed. The admin messaged me and said, that's not cool. We're just trying to highlight Black characters. And I'm like, do you not see my profile picture? You don't see the Black ass face? Really? Come on now. And I was like, that's acknowledging the good that they've done for the franchise, but also understanding what we have to go through is still, they're just as important. But to sit here and tell me that I can't talk about it, or this is not the time and place for it, is insane to me. That's toxic positivity. Not me refusing not to bash a movie every chance I get because I want to focus on the parts of Star Wars that I like. The Phantom Menace is not my favorite movie. It's not. Y'all can ask Hannah. Kylo Ren, not my favorite character. Reylo, not my favorite ship. I'm not going to sit here and bash all three of those things every day. I could, because I can't stand Reylo, but I'm not going to. Although, if this ain't one thing about Reylo, no. Let me stop.
I was going to say, see, this is
No.
See, we have no. I was going to say like opinions, and that's the difference. Opinions and then outright gatekeep bullying.
Yeah. And it's like,
Dom, your camera's being weird again.
Damn it!
oh, he just said a bad word.
Show it on my end, which sucks.
The Phantom Menace is the best Star Wars movie. And you know what? I love that Hannah loves the Phantom Menace so much. I love the characters of Phantom Menace. Natalie Portman is my queen. You don't think I have respect for the movie that introduced Natalie Portman to Star Wars? You must be out your rat ass mind if you don't think I have respect for the movie that introduced Natalie Portman to the Star Wars universe. The more I watch, I'm like, oh my God, it's the most, for me, it's the most tedious movie to sit through.
Now, it's by no means the worst Star Wars movie, but it's not top tier, one of the best.
Yeah.
Like a lot of people bring up like the hardest nail that people try and drive into the coffin of, oh, this is the worst Star Wars movie, is the CGI. It was late 1990s, early 2000s. The CGI back then sucked in general.
Yeah, it's like you try to make something realistic in animation. Like it's like I don't get like there's many physical flaws when you're first trying to give like CGI in 1990, but like with now, it's like with more advanced and like with more detail and not fixing mistakes. Why is that getting more shit with more detail than the other thing that is physically buggy as hell? If you see what I mean.
Speaking of that, actually rolls right into a good point that I just thought of. Andor, it's not being shot with what's been being used. I forget what it's called. They're actually using practical effects and practical locations for all of the episodes of Andor.
That's nice.
Mm-hmm.
Andor's gonna be so good. Oh my god.
That's actually really cool.
You're really cool.
Thank you.
Shut up.
Right back at okay. I was gonna say right back at you, but that's how it is. I don't know why I said it like that.
All right now.
I apologize. I'm sorry.
Okay, Jordan, you're the resistance expert here. Can you explain the gold stormtrooper to us? Because I may be well versed in Star Wars lore, but that character makes no sense to me.
He just has gold armor. Who cares? That's my lore answer. Who cares? He has gold armor.
Commander
Phasma has silver armor. He has gold armor. Who gives a shit? Well, that's my lore answer.
Phasma's armor is actually made of old Naboo starships.
Okay, and then fucking the gold stormtroopers is made out of old gold starships. Now what? Now what?
I'm looking up Commander Fire.
Now what?
He is just
Jesus Christ.
That man is living his best life. The Gold Stormtrooper. It's Hannah. He's in Star Wars Resistance, the show that I've been telling you to watch since I met you. And
she's watching it right now. She's watching it.
Then you should know. Then you should know, Hannah. If you're watching it right now, then you should know.
See, Jordan,
he's probably on the episode. He's probably on the episode you watching right now as we talking about him. He's such a king.
What episode? What episode?
I don't
what
know.
Season? What episode? Hannah, what season? What episode right now?
You're killing me.
He is. What is his armor made of? Let's see. Yeah, he Pyro wore gold-plated stormtrooper armor and a black pauldron, and utilized a gold-plated F1 F11D blaster rifle. That is literally it. That is literally what it all says.
And that's all the explanation I need.
Season 2, episode 4. Okay, so yeah.
Jordan woke up and chose violence today.
No, I chose to be real.
Pyre's the technically sort of a second in command to Phasma. He needed in the behind the scenes sections of the Wikipedia. It says he needed to look unique as well, and we didn't want to stick with a silver theme. So I think it was fun that we brought in the gold. It makes him really distinct from her and the rest of the stormtroopers. Says Amy Beth Christensen on the development of Pyre.
Listen,
still a great character, voiced by what was his name? Liam McIntyre.
Neeson.
Liam McIntyre.
Liam
Neeson. Kazuda Ziono. I don't know who you are, but I will find you.
There's too much dead air right now.
Very true. I was gonna say something after I finished drinking.
Let's talk about why Star Wars fans hate black people.
We're just going for all the heavy topics today. Go ahead. Go ahead.
All right, let's
No, I'm just kidding.
how to start this.
All right, we're getting Warforged over here from Dom.
If you want season 2, then you should have been at the Gold Stormtrooper. Why am I yelling at you like you're here? Not that I would be yelling at you if you were here, but the last episode, hype was being weird. Hype Phazon. Wow, let me tell you about Hype Phazon. Top tier. Top tier. Top tier. If this was a Marvel show, also, we could have been talking about She-Hulk, but I guess not.
Okay, I'm checking on my phone just to see if my camera's working. My because my computer is deceiving me.
Deception.
Deception.
Is the way of the Sith.
Are we?
Lead to anger.
Huh?
Blue screens lead to anger.
Anyways. Oh, Lego Star Wars finally made Darth Vader breathe.
Nice.
Nice. That's actually really good.
When you, as a playable character, he wasn't breathing. Like his character model wasn't breathing.
I wanted to see how long I could hold my breath for.
Yeah.
So, Jordan, what are you looking forward to with the Pin and Foe comics coming out?
Pin and Foe.
Yes, Pin and Foe.
Pin and Foe. You.
My YouTube friendly answer is I can't wait to see what kind of mission this is. It looks like some sort of heist. It looks like it's gonna be amazing. Love that. Like I said, I want more sequel content. You know what I mean?
I want to see monkey lizards in that comic. I didn't mean to interrupt. I'm sorry.
Monkey lizards?
No.
Poe is afraid of them. Poe hates Guavian monkey lizards. Not Guavian. I just forgot what planet they are, but he hates the monkey lizards.
Interesting.
They're also like, they're annoying little creatures, but can you see how big they can get?
I'd rather not.
Yeah, let's not.
So does anybody have any predictions or expectations for season 3 of Mandalorian?
Well, as someone who was at Celebration watched the trailer.
Oh, here we go again.
Oh, the celebration!
Oh,
Yeah.
humble. Oh, we have Star Wars to humble brag.
Oh no, it's not. There's nothing humble about this brag.
Well, I'm sorry we haven't been doing this for 2 years, unlike you.
You're forgiven.
Forgive him.
Yeah, I forgive you for not doing this for 2 years.
Oh.
So,
confused.
Jordan, what were you going to enlighten us with your celebration knowledge?
I just can't wait to see Babu Frick.
In season 3 of The Mandalorian?
What?
We were talking about season 3 of The Mandalorian, and he's like, I can't wait to see Babu Frick.
I said what I said.
What would he be repairing? Why would Din need to go see Babu?
Oh, so y'all must have not watched the leaked trailer. Interesting.
I didn't even know there was a leaked trailer.
Because I'm waiting for the official trailer so I can actually see what's on screen, because every leaked trailer I've seen, it looks like it was shot on a 2005 flip phone.
I'm just gonna sip my tea. Sip, sip. I actually saw 2 versions of the same trailer. One was longer than the other one.
Jordan, I love you, but you're an ass sometimes. Nerf herder.
I do what I do.
Scruffy looking nerf herder. I
Nice.
apologize.
Good job. Amazing.
My
Yeah.
trash can's literally like arms reach from here, and I tossed it from my chair, and it overshot, hit the wall, hung there for a second, and fell on the floor.
Yeah, okay, so anyway, back to when I went to Celebration. I'm just kidding.
Back to when I was at Celebration. It was so
No,
tedious, I know.
And Babu Freak was in it. Babu Freak and Family.
Oh my god.
Babu Freak and Family were in it. So, because I didn't see Family in Rise of Skywalker, let me tell you something, Dave Filoni, Jon Favreau. If something happens to that family in Mando Season 3 or before Rise of Skywalker, it's going to be you and me. It's going to be you and me.
I think who else do you think would we see in Mando Season 3? If they do expand on having more characters in as cameos or important to the story, because we have Bo-Katan, we have Ahsoka, and we have Boba Fett.
Boba Fett.
We might see Sabine, maybe.
Sabin.
Maybe. I would think so. But depending on where he's because the Mando is still taking bounty hunting jobs. And
He didn't all of season 2, I don't think.
as of like I mean like after like during Book of Boba Fett, like he was still he took back the job as a bounty hunter.
Yeah.
He took in.
Hannah says Sabine's dad.
Oh yeah.
Because I think he was a politician or like a political leader.
True.
Yeah, Ulrich.
We
We might
He would be an older. He would be much older.
we might get a deeper dive into some Mandalorian culture. That'd be cool. Like some actual Mandalorian culture, not like not the Children of the Watch cult bullshit that we see all the time.
Even if they talk about like Mandalore being glassed, it's the surface. The planet's still like you can still like touch this. You can still like land on the surface, right?
Yeah, it'd just be highly radioactive. Because I've analyzed that scene a good bit, and to me it looks like this will surprise a lot of people. There are nukes in Star Wars. Like what we think of as nukes here on Earth in modern day, they have those in Star Wars. They're not really widely used because they have to be delivered the same way, i.e., a missile, a bomb, one of those things. But it looked like in the trailer that they were dropping nukes all over Mandalore, which Mandalore is known for using nukes because they're very unconventional and they're hard to fight against once they actually get used. But that would explain why we only see droids walking around on Mandalore shooting Mandalorians. Is they didn't want to risk stormtroopers getting irradiated and all that.
Stormtrooper.
My lord.
We might see Palpatine. Somehow Palpatine has returned.
Oh, okay. Wait, hold on.
That is still one of the weirdest lines in Star Wars. Is somehow Palpatine returned.
Yeah, it's disbelief. Like, of course, like I feel like that's like. The more I think about that scene, disbelief in the audience as well as the people around them is pretty logical because it literally is impossible.
Well, see, it would make sense if like there wasn't like all the legends content of like him returning. So like a lot of the people who are like really big into like legends and all that knew like, hey, yeah, he can come back. That's not a big deal. He does it a few times. But to like the people who just got into Star Wars, yeah, it's gonna be like culture shock. I'm like, wait, what? He can come back?
Palpatine has returned. Yeah, but like Poe doesn't know that. Poe can't use the Force. He doesn't give a fuck.
It's like barely anyone knows. Like the Jedi doesn't like doesn't exist. Like I would say like I can't even speak.
Okay, here's a talking point that I've seen like other YouTubers talk about. Obviously, they're not doing podcast style like we are. They're doing like traditional video style. How would y'all redo the I'm trying to remember the name of the battle.
Was it in Clone? Was which?
The beginning of The Last Jedi. Yeah, the end of Last Jedi. When the Resistance is evacuating.
Ooh, what planet was that? I forget.
How would you
question?
How would you
redo that battle?
The Battle of Crate?
No, before that.
It was the beginning one. Beginning of hold on. I gotta look this up actually.
Before they're evacuating the planet?
Yeah.
I'm not a military expert. I don't know. I'm just a Star Wars fan who takes care of children. I don't know. Like, what do you want me to say? See, this is why.
Oh, it's the car. It's the car.
Star Wars fans stress me out.
What's going on? After the fleet of the First Order appears, General Leia orders the evacuation.
John doesn't even know what battle it is. So,
From
like,
the
how is he going to answer the question?
Cocky pilot Poe Dameron disobeys her his counterattack. Yet,
well, first of all, no, I'm gonna tell you because Dom, you just said something. Read that last part again. Poe did what?
Yeah, but cocky pilot Poe Dameron disobeys her and
disobeys order.
Of
what you're not gonna do. First of all, what you're not gonna do is disrespect and disobey orders from Queen Mother. That bitch, head bitch in charge, Leia Organa. That's what you're not gonna do. So that's how I redo the battle. Is you gonna listen to Leia? You gonna listen to her? It's what you're gonna do.
You're gonna listen, and this counterattack would not take out. Oh wait, it did. You wouldn't disobey, but his counterattack did take down the enemy dreadnought, but with a large
at what cost?
What cost? With a huge loss.
Okay, so this is how I would do it. This is how I would redo the battle. This is obviously I have a different perspective because I have military tactics understanding. Is I would have the like 3 or 4 Resurgence class Star Destroyers that escorted said dreadnought onto the battlefield. They'd come out first in front in a defensive formation. The dreadnought would come out behind them.
Oh, from a First Order perspective,
I'm retalking the entire battle.
You trying to beat some bitches up.
So I'm starting from the I'm starting from the biggest flaw right off the get-go, which is the First Order side of things. They had their defensive screen of the Star Destroyers behind this asset they needed to protect. So have them in front of it, but have it slightly lowered so its main gun can still engage. And rather than engage the planet's not going anywhere. It's going to be there. Immediately engage the fleet. Take out the fleet. That way you have a handful of fighters and bombers to deal with. Then it can focus on the planet while the Star Destroyers immediately scramble fighters and use their point defense cannons to take out the Resistance fighters that are left after the fleet's been destroyed.
Okay. That makes a lot of sense.
Because if you look at it, they had their main asset, which is the dreadnought, in front of the defensive screen. And they also held off on launching fighters. They didn't push the Star Destroyers into a defensive screen at all. They just kind of sat there and let the dreadnought get destroyed.
I see. Yeah, that's
Also, now we look at the resistance side of things. They know the First Order is coming. That's why they're evacuating. Have a constant patrol of starfighters going on as a defensive screen. So those transports can get up, get in their ships, and get out of there as quickly as possible, rather than have a lone starfighter kind of distract them and then have a fleet of bombers and small interceptors come in and attack the target. You already have a presence in space, so keep that defensive screen going. And as it progresses, while you're waiting for the ships to get loaded, then you can, as the battle's progressing, you can have that fleet of bombers push in and attack the target, because then you're going to have a lot more distraction on the First Order side, because they're going to have to be dealing with all these interceptors, X-Wings, Y-Wings, everything they had thrown at them. They're going to have to deal with that. And then you have those bombers go in after they're already distracted.
I see.
So it'll make it a lot easier for those bombers to take out that dreadnought.
Mm-hmm.
Love that.
With that, which side do you think would win? With the things you would fix, how do you think that would?
If you took both critiques that I just gave and put them head to head, I'd give it to the First Order, because you have those Star Destroyers immediately drop out of hyperspace. You have the Resistance fighter screen come in and engage those Star Destroyers. Then the dreadnought drops out. It immediately targets the fleet and fires on the fleet. There goes your fleet. Then it focuses on the planet. Its point defense hasn't been taken out by the lone Poe Dameron yet. It still has all its point defense, and immediately it scrambles fighters along with the starters. The other Star Destroyers have already scrambled fighters. Mm-hmm. So you have the Resistance is now outnumbered because they have 3 to 4 Star Destroyers worth of TIE fighters out there, and the defensive screen of Star Destroyers plus a dreadnought that just dropped out of hyperspace with its point defense still intact, and they don't have a fleet to fall back on because it's effectively been destroyed.
I see.
There would be honestly no way for them to win that battle without, like, they might be able to take out the dreadnought in a moment of desperation, but they're not winning the battle. They're not escaping.
Cute.
Because I have little memory of how that battle went physically, because I can't picture it. That actually is a good idea. With that, I can't think of how I would change that. So would have to put a lot more thought into it.
You need to go watch the Lego Star Wars specials. Is what you need to do.
Yes, you do.
I need to finish the list.
I need to finish Summer Vacation, but I have started it.
So Summer Vacation, is it okay? I may be getting this weird. Is it like just a mini series with only like 2 to 3 episodes, or is it just like a movie?
It's just a special.
It's a movie.
Okay.
What other battles do you guys think we could talk about, like redo?
I have a list. I'm pulling it up. I just
immediately pulls up a list.
I just saw it. Hold on.
Hannah, anything from the comment section?
This is the thing that I find interesting about battles, is that like Star Wars is mostly its plot.
You're going full Warforged on us again.
It's when I go off scene. I think it's just when I go off screen.
Just start using your phone to look stuff up.
All right. Add up.
So one thing that I will bring up is with a lot of like battles that we see is people try and bring like Earth's Geneva Convention into the Star Wars universe and be like, oh, that's a war crime. When they have their own set of rules of war in Star Wars, they don't abide by our Geneva Convention at all.
Yeah, they didn't go to Geneva Con, so
That's their. That is War Gen Con.
let's do Avatar Aang versus Ozai and how we would redo that.
Aang versus Ozai.
First of all, I wouldn't even let Ozai shoot out a fire blast before I started throwing rocks at his ass. I would have been on his doorstep. Open the fuck up.
Jordan as the Avatar.
I would have even let him get on that blimp. I would have been like, knock, knock. Open up.
Yes,
You said you was gonna whoop whose ass? Whose ass you said you was gonna whoop, Ozai? Bring it.
Jordan is going to be the next Earthbender Avatar.
Yep.
Hell yeah.
Here first, folks. Jordan is the next Earthbending Avatar.
Yep. And that means I only got Korra as a mentor. And you know what? Korra's all I need. I don't need nobody else.
Here's the thing. I think a battle that I think I would change. Battle of Coruscant.
Korra.
All right. Let's address Hannah's comment real quick.
Cool.
Who is the best militia? Empire, Rebellion, Republic, First Order, Resistance, Separatists, etc.
The Grand Army of the Republic.
So it depends on what you want to look at for best. If you want to look at just overall fighting force, their budgets, all that kind of stuff. Because if you're looking at
it's definitely not the Resistance or the Rebellion.
Well, here
Get it? Because they broke.
in terms of tactics, it would come down to probably the First Order and the Empire, because they had both had years of warfare to learn from. The Republic had just come out of the Rusan Reformation that had lasted 1,000 years. So there was no universal warfare guide to kind of base their tactics off of. They had a bunch of different military leaders from different planetary defense forces, and they didn't exactly have the same tactics. So it was just kind of an amalgamation of different tactics, and you had the Jedi trying to make their own tactics as they went. The Rebellion was very hit and run guerrilla warfare style. So there's not too many tactics there. It would just come down to the grit of the soldiers and how far they're willing to push themselves before inevitably they fail. Same thing with the Resistance. Empire had all the knowledge they had learned from the Clone Wars, both the Republic and the Separatists, to base their tactics off of. And they were obviously unified in what tactics they all learned. Same thing with the First Order, because they had a lot of Imperial leaders that left over. They had even more tactics that they had learned from the Galactic Civil War to go off of. So I'd have to say it'd probably be the First Order when it comes just based off of tactics. But do we ever really see them kind of put those tactics to use? Not really. Because plot armor for the good guys.
Yes.
Who's the best Star Wars character and why is it Finn?
And why is it Finn?
Why is he Finn? If we're talking,
All right, so
I'm gonna say one of the flaws that I think the Republic Clone Army has. Because we've seen in Clone Wars, they mentioned that the more clones they produce, the DNA is straining so much to the point where where there's like a chance of more bad batches. I will say, like bad batches of more different personalities, of if they fall in line and stuff like that. But if here's the thing, if the Clone Wars continued on for about 10 years, and an additional 10 years or 5 from, I would say, okay, I'm gonna use the example of 5 years from when we see it in Revenge of the Sith. If the Republic did not change to the Empire, I feel the Clone Army would be strained. They produced a huge amount, but it would be strained too little. The cloning DNA would be way too small for them to produce a perfect or average clone.
So
they would years ago.
Even in canon, it's not addressed outright, but it still, to my knowledge, is still canon. There were non-Kaminoan clones in the Grand Army of the Republic. They took a lot less time to produce and train. They weren't as effective, but they kind of integrated seamlessly because they were still Jango Fett clones, but they were just a lot faster to produce. But also, when you look at the Clone Wars, everyone's like, oh, it's the clones versus the droids. That's the Clone Wars. It really wasn't.
No.
You had planetary forces, like defense forces, fighting other planetary defense forces, or like separatist holdouts in a planet that wanted to join the Republic, or vice versa. And that was a majority of fighting. It was just like major battles had the Clone Army involved in it. Like, you're not going to send the Christosis militia to go fight in the Siege of Mandalore. That's not their place to fight. Their place is Christosis. But the clones, they go wherever they're told, but they're too few in numbers compared to the droid army to be sent to every battlefront.
Battlefront 2. Get it? Like the video game.
All right. So I think, Jordan, do you have anything of what you think is okay. Back on the topic of why I think I would change the Battle of Coruscant is because even though it's a city planet and how huge it is, it feels too close to the atmosphere, and it's like there's a lot of separatist ships. There's a lot of Republic. There's Dread. I can't think of the right term for the ships, but it feels too crowded. Like it feels too crowded and too close to the planet. It's too big of an atmospheric dogfight.
So the reasoning for that is when obviously Grievous had insider knowledge of like the Republic Defense Fleet and how it operated, like its size, its location. So when him and his fleet jumped out of hyperspace, they jumped out inside of the defensive ring, which was very dangerous. So they were already in low orbit. So then Republic ships had to back up to engage them.
I see.
Because it was a very much just shock and awe kind of attack. It's not, hey, we're going to jump out, we're going to drop out at the edge of the system and just charge in guns blazing, because they wouldn't have been able to win in a straight up fight like that. They had to use some sort of like surprise tactic, and that's exactly what they did. Is they jumped in super close to the planet in order to surprise Republic forces.
I see.
Oop,
Oh,
there we go. There we go. Press the wrong button. But as far as like things that I would change with the Battle of Coruscant, that's kind of hard to think about because
it is.
it's not your typical battle where it's like here's a fleet, smash. It's here's the fleets. They're already intertwined, so there's not tactic-wise, there's not a lot they can do differently. It's a lot of broadside fighting.
Exactly, and it's like it's always in. I see a lot of battalions. I don't know how to describe this, but I've seen a lot of. I see a lot of like battles of the Clone Wars with merging. On the Republic side, I see multiple clone battalions in the same battle in a case. Like you see that in season 7, you see that on basically just any large scale battle. So it's like it makes sense, and I don't know what tangent I'm going on off of.
So are you like talking about like how like a different unit will come to the aid of a different unit, and that's like what you're kind of seeing wrong with something?
Yes and no. I would say they were there in the first place. It's also hard to change a battle that it was planned by someone playing both sides. Because that's the difficult part.
Mm-hmm. As far as like having like let's say the 212th having the 501st come and back them up. For one, it's a planetary siege. Let's look back at the opening of the Mandalore arc in season 7. That's a planetary siege that they're involved in. So there's going to be multiple units involved in that. It's like there's not one unit that's big enough to siege an entire planet.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a very real world thing that if one unit finishes up somewhere and they have the troops to spare, and there's another unit that's entrenched and they're just getting dogged on, they'll send guys over there.
Okay.
Like, let me think. Look at World War II. There were a lot of times where you would have multiple units involved in the siege of a town or a city. That's a lot smaller scale than like a planet, but you still had different battalions attacking the same target because the enemy has the advantage at that point. They are entrenched. They have defenses set up. They know that area better than you do as the attacking force.
Mm-hmm.
So you're going to have to throw more men at that target in order to break that defensive line. And that's what you see a lot of times whenever you see, like in Star Wars, where you see them just throwing battalions of clones at the Separatists. And when it's a siege, is the Separatists are dug in. They have the advantage at that point. The only time that the attacking force will have the advantage on something like that is when they get air superiority.
Mm-hmm.
But we don't really see them gaining air superiority right off the bat because droid fighters have a lot more of them than organic pilots than on the clone side.
Gotcha.
So I could sit over here and program a droid fighter with like some ones and zeros and some basic binary code, but then I have to go outside and I have to train a pilot for years to be able to fly a starfighter and do it effectively and be good at it. So it's a lot bigger loss when you lose an organic over losing a droid.
Mm-hmm.
Cute.
It's a hard topic to think about. I think about like an answer to it.
Well, you got 3 minutes to figure it out.
Oh, Jordan's calling the time now. Wow.
Wow. Okay. Well, I don't.
I do agree with him. We are kind of rambling
Yeah.
on this episode because there wasn't too much to talk about, but Hannah did bring up good points of like, hey, why don't we talk about this? Why don't you talk about that? But I do think we could probably spend an episode re-talking some of these battles, like how we do them differently.
I think that is pretty. That would be very interesting. I like that because I actually want to know what the hell happened on Felucia.
Which one, real life or Star Wars?
Star Wars.
Not real life.
Real life was also just as bad as Star Wars.
Yeah.
You have no idea, Dom. You honestly have no idea.
I know. Which is why I say I want to know the experience. I want to get to be in the loop without unknowingly and unironically knowing that Felucia's.
So for
dramatic to
the for the real world example, I'll just give this real brief, and then we'll probably call it here. The Marines in Felucia were dug in, and they were fighting hard. They had been there for days. And they had gone, in the Marine Corps, we called it Winchester. That means you have no ammo. You're out. The Army calls it they went black. But it's also different per unit. Some units will say, oh, we're Winchester. Some will say they're black. Whatever. It was the first time since, I don't know when, I want to say Vietnam or earlier, that the command fixed bayonets had been given. And there were Marines fighting insurgents in the streets, hand to hand, and with knives.
I was thinking that the Battle of Felucia in the Clone Wars was the clones' version of Vietnam. That's what I was thinking.
Well, I was giving like what real world Felucia was.
I did not know there was real world Felucia.
Yes,
so
it was a major battle during the war in Afghanistan and Iraq. Like during the war on terror, it was a major battle. I had a friend that went there. Like he was in the Battle of Felucia.
Fuck! Oh yeah, you are right. I have no freaking idea. Which is why I say I'm just gonna stop rambling.
Like this is my last point, and then I'll probably close this out here. My friend was telling me the story of when he was in Fallujah, and like his unit had been sent in to relieve the Marines, like bring them ammo, kind of let them go out, and they were gonna continue the battle. He's coming into the city. He's going down the street, doing his thing, and he goes to pie off a corner to go around and continue down the street. As soon as he turns that corner, there's a Marine charging him with a bayonet on his rifle, and he's like, whoa, 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 blue, 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 which is identifying him as a friendly. Because that's how bad the Marines had it. They had been fighting so much and for so long that they had, a lot of people say they devolved into barbarians. They attacked anything that moved.
Jesus Christ.
Because they had been out of ammo for days.
Holy shit.
Yeah. Look up the Battle of Fallujah. It's gnarly.
Doing that right now.
But on that note, we're going to close out. Thank you guys for coming to a really just kind of random, bullshitty episode of Sundari Broadcast System.
Yeah.
You can find us on Discord at Sundari Broadcast System. The link is in the description of this video. You can also find us on Instagram and TikTok at the Sundari Broadcast System. And you can find me on TikTok at CarolinaBoy232. Jordan, where can they find you?
Nowhere.
All
I'm
right.
a figment of everyone's imagination.
He is our shared fever dream. Got it.
Yep. Great.
Excuse
Dom.
You can
Where
find
can
me.
they find you?
You can find me on Instagram and TikTok at dshine12, as well as on Twitch at dshine15. I put on TikTok. I post Star Wars content and cosplay. I also post just a bunch of. I also just post a bunch of just random stuff of singing and catching up with one of the musicals. And I sing a lot, so I'm going to be posting a lot of singing content as well.
All right, Jordan, anything to add before we close out?
No, I don't
Dom?
think. Bye. I love you all.
If you have any topics that you would like us to talk about, please let us know in the comments or on in the Discord.
And again, it'll be same time, same place, Saturday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on YouTube. So come join us. We talk Star Wars, and sometimes we throw in real world shit to just give a comparison. Next time we probably will talk about the Battle of Fallujah in Star Wars, just so you can see like how gnarly it was, and I might pull up some examples to compare it to real life battles, so everyone can get a perspective of how bad both battles were. But again, same time, same place, next Saturday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Same bat time on the same bat channel.
Right here at Sendari Broadcast Systems. Thank you guys for watching. May the Force be with you, and we're out.
Bye.
Bye.